So Mike Tyson's been through hell over the decades, real abusive upbringing, really hard times, down on himself. He's kind of reached now, as he's older, kind of more of a relaxed, zen, enlightened, kind of calm, very loving state. Now he's still, a doofus here and there. He still has a hard time communicating. He still has a hard time connecting with people. One thing I noticed with Mike is that he does what a lot of people do, and like if you look at like therapists and stuff, this is what 99.9% of them do, is that whatever story, whatever things that they've gone through, they're trying to like project that answer, that problem solution to the next person. So it's like, if they happen to line up, right? So if Mike Tyson is talking to somebody who is also Savior SEFE in that exact order, then their problems are going to be the same and their solutions are going to be the same. And that's where you'll get like a hit of like, oh my gosh, I took this person's advice and it really, really helped. And then there's kind of a spectrum where it's like, the more the person is different from you, the more it just doesn't help very much at all. So anyways, Mike has got Bill Burr on the podcast. Now, Bill is somebody I like, I don't like. He's a great guy. He's funny. I wish him well. He's on his journey, the whole thing. I'm a little biased here because we just have millions of these fucking guys typed in our doc, these red hair ENFPs, especially the Blast Last audios. They're all either comedians, show businesses, guitars. They are the most predictable type to us because we have the most of them. And they are all very much the same as each other because they're all like looking at the ST and going, I see a structured, rigid way society is, so I'm going to find the clever loop around. And I'm going to find the funniest one. And then they all do exactly that. So they all find the cleverest, most funniest shit, which is exactly the same as every other genius level ENFP as well. So it's a really weird kind of conundrum. Don't tell them that because they'll freak out because they're so proud of themselves. They're so fucking different, even though they're all the fucking same as each other, right? So Bill kind of talks in a fake tough guy voice. It's one of the things I don't like about him. You can tell he's got a lot of like hurt and anger and unprocessed emotions from childhood that he's playing this weird fake character. And it's really good that he's talking to Mike and he's going on his journey. So I don't want to kick anybody's ass for going on their journey because it's hell and it takes fucking forever. So in this first clip, you have a classic scenario going on. This is why I capture this video here, because this is what everybody's doing. Now, it's happening fast. You got to know the story. You got to kind of read into it, but this is what you'll see your friends and your family are also going through. So you have two people in the room. One is just a little bit more ahead on their self-growth journey. They've gotten to the point where they've hit the bottom and come back up, where they're realizing, oh, this problem in my life is me. Somehow, some way. If you're at 50 years old, it's fucking you. If you're a 12-year-old and you're at home and you're being abused, it's not you. So Mike has gone through that, even though he has a lot of legitimate reasons to be mad at the world because people did very bad stuff to him, right? Anyway, so Mike is more calm. Bill is kind of on the other side. He hasn't gone through that hero's journey dip. He hasn't come out the other side, right? Is your worst times behind you or in front of you, right? If they're behind you, you know it because you like set birthdays of like, okay, I'm 9 years sober. I'm 9 years from the bottom, and every year is slightly better coming up, right? So you have Bill that hasn't gone through it. And what you'll see is people like, they'll start to go down into the hell, and once it gets hot, they come back up. And the way that they do it is they'll start telling these, we call them Santa Claus bag stories. Oh, well, you don't even know my excuse and my story, and this is what happened, and I'm Italian, and I was raised that way, and I came from a rage family tree, or I have OCD, or I have this disorder, and they just go on and on and on and on. Why their situation is so fucking special, they're so fucking stuck, and nobody hears them, nobody listens to them. And if you all just heard my fucking sob story, then you can jump inside my inner world and actually help me. And this image here is like the Winchester Mystery House. It's like, as soon as you solve this problem, oh yeah, well, I have this problem over here. All right, well, let's deal with that problem. Well, no, but what I really have is this problem over here. And they're just forever adding on. Every time they go to college, they get a new job, they get a new boyfriend, girlfriend. Every time they move on, there's a new drama story. There's a new trauma, there's a new problem, there's a new situation, and that has to be resolved too. And then you will spend literally 18 hours talking with somebody about nothing but just this. You'll just chase them around the fucking crazy house. And what Mike is going to try and tell Bill is you can just let go of that whenever you want.
I only succeed when I help other people succeed.
Right.
If I'm the only one to succeed, then I'm a failure.
And now, how long did it take you to figure that out? Like, is that something you felt you always knew? Or did you...
No fucking way.
No way.
No fucking
So when
way.
did you, like, when did that light come on? Like,
I know around 3 years ago, my wife inspired me to liberate myself from myself, pretty much.
How long was that conversation? That's amazing. No, that's amazing. Because I'm trying to let go of a lot of shit myself.
You can do it whenever you want to. That's one thing that's interesting about life. You can change your mind and change who you want to be whenever you want.
Because my thing is, what gets me is this. My life's work is my temper, and I come from a rage family tree.
I mean, he starts up the non-letting go process. Mike is telling him the straight truth because what Mike eventually figures out of like, wait, it wasn't a self-help book. It wasn't blaming the other guy. It wasn't going and getting a bunch of money or having that conversation. It was eventually you get to the other side, you're like, wait, decide to let this go? Are you serious? And like, you can't. You go through a stage of like, there's no way I can do that because my entire life has been about fighting for the bad guys. Like, it feels like you're switching teams. My whole life, I've broken up about this. I've blamed people. I've sued people. I've left jobs. I've left relationships. I've left the country because of this story. And wait, that was all just me. And I don't have to go back to the Winchester Mystery House and solve every single one of these fucking stories, every single one of these fucking problems. I can just let it go. Well, yeah, because the way you're fucking free in the future is more problems come in, right? More problems come in when you're 50, when you're 60. What do? Stack those up too? No, you just learn to like, let those go. And you do it before the sun goes down. And even the Bible says that. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Don't let the sun go down on your hard feelings. Don't let the sun go down on your depression, your anxiety, right? You can get in a situation like Mike is, where he has bad days. He's fucking smacked somebody in the fucking airport the other day on the airplane, right? Some kid that fucking deserved it, right? So, but is he going to carry that on for fucking years? Is he going to build a life about rage and, oh my God, me, a poor victim? No. He's going to get through that. He's going to process that. He's going to let it go pretty fast.
So I think when shit starts to not go my way, I feel like no one's going to hear me. It's embarrassing to say this out loud. Yeah, so that can be literally trying to figure out the operating system on my phone.
Oh, here we go.
Or like my wife, if I say, hey man, we got to be there by 2 or 3 o'clock, and we get there at like, 10 past 3, and then there's a thing, I don't know, it just like...
You need some emotional training. You know what I mean?
I need a lot.
You need some emotional intelligent training.
Well, I just went back to therapy.
There's a book that says emotional intelligence for people just like that. And that's, slaves to their emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I used to be one of those people.
Well,
everybody was my enemy, but me.
Everybody was my enemy but me. So here's what it gets hard for, whatever stupid type you are, like this observer here, right? So I've got masculine sensory at the bottom. This is my same frustration as well. It's like people have a really hard time believing that it's like, okay, wait a minute, I'm actually really, really mad at my fucking phone. And yeah, I'll have people issues or decider issues or whatever, but it's like there's a focus intensity of like, no, really, I'm specifically SI, narrowed in, frustrated, feeling controlled by my this sensory object right here, right? And so what'll happen is, like you see with therapists, like I was mentioning earlier, it's like, unless Mike Tyson has masculine SI at the bottom, he'd be like, I don't believe you. It's got to be that you went through something else, that you were probably abused by somebody. Because Mike is DE, so somebody, some big mean masculine TI is the bad guy in Mike's life, right? No one's gonna believe Bill that really he's that frustrated with the fucking thing, right? But one thing that Mike said, though, is the emotional training. And that's something that I constantly see on everybody that's kind of made it through the hero's journey thing, is like they take on that self-discipline thing. They take on the goals thing, and they take on the emotional training. They take on, like, I have to be able to stand under pressure, like Navy SEAL level shit, right? But just for the emotions. They know, they're like, okay, the game is, I'm going to get up tomorrow. The world's job, 50% of the world's job is to fuck with me, is to push me, is to throw my demons in my fucking face, to harass me at the fucking airport, to try and get me to fucking lose it. And my job is to stop resisting that. Stop trying to run away from that. Stop trying to fight back and say, I'll have a good day as long as you guys aren't picking on me.
No.
We like secrets.
I have a temper, man. You can't hide that. Like if I was,
No, we're not hiding your temper. We're hiding the cause of the temper.
Well, if I could, I'm trying to figure out what is the cause of it.
Oh, you know the cause of it, brother. Oh, don't start that. Why am I mad? Why? I know you know why you're mad. Why are you mad? Who hurt you?
Oh, yeah, but that's what I just figured out. But for years, when I would yell at my phone, I thought I hated technology.
Oh, this guy.
It has nothing to do with your phone.
No, I'm serious. I'm being totally honest.
No, you're not. You silly dude.
No, you know what it is? No, the thing is you're more evolved. You've worked on yourself more. So you think I'm where you're at. I'm not. So I'm learning shit from you right now. I'm not trying to be clever. I'm being totally honest. Like, how many times I've said that? I fucking hate technology. Technology kept me alive. I had a ruptured appendix. I don't hate technology. I just get frustrated with shit. And I have this.
This is what you hate. You hate this phone.
It's an aggressive therapy session.
You hate this phone. You don't hate technology. You just hate this phone. Okay, this phone.
So the thing with Bill, it's like, yes, I do believe him, and it is very true. No one will believe Bill that, yes, his frustration largely is going to come from the fucking phone, right? But it's then the inability to manage the sensory, not sensory chaos, but sensory control. So Mike is kind of given up, going, I can't connect with this guy. This guy's lying to me. This guy's being clever and maneuvering around his phone, which he's really not, right? Bill's trying to be as honest as he can, but poor Bill doesn't have anybody to fucking talk to because no one's like, oh, dude, you're just an ENFP. You guys all fucking freak out the phone. This is completely fucking normal, right? So Mike doesn't know what to do, right? But Mike still has the right answers. Mike has gone through it. He just has the right answers for himself in a general way. And it's hard to twist the wires around and be like, okay, for you, it's going to be the SI, right? What Mike is trying to get Bill to see is eventually you got to decide to be a different person. Like, are you the victim? Are you the victim of your fucking phone? Are you the victim of the masculine TI, cuss Mikado, whatever, that abused you? Are you a victim of insert your demons here. Are you a victim? Do you want to be the identity of you are the one who is a victim of your phone? Do you want to be known as the guy that fucking rages at his phone? And that's where Mike is now trying to joke with him. I'm like, yeah, you and your fucking phone, we know. And so there's when you can get to that realization, but it's not the information. That's definitely what we're seeing with sharing this code stuff. It's not the information. You can share this code stuff all day long. You can get an ENFP, pick them out of the crowd, and be like, hey, your types, your parts, your functions, your SI. It's not going to do a goddamn thing. Won't do a goddamn thing. Nor does it matter if they don't have the code when they finally go through rock bottom. It's a place where somebody gets in their life, regardless of what amazing Tony Robbins or ops material they have or don't have. It has nothing to do with it. The person gets to a point in their life where they're like, all right, I'm done. I just don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be this character anymore. I don't want to be the one that every time my demons ring the bell and say, drama, time to freak out, that I fall for it. I just don't want to be that person anymore.